Yes, Kanha Joshi, describe your personality.
Sir, sir, myself Kanha Joshi. Sir, I like to, uh, sir, I am, sir, when I talk about my personality, sir, I am a learner. I consider myself a learner who wants to learn new things and explore new things. Sir, I also consider myself a creative person who finds a good pleasure in creative activities like writing poetry and music, etc.
Okay. You have described your hobby as meditation, reading books, writing poetry. So, can you tell us any poem which you have written?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, there is a network issue. Hello.
Getting me?
Uh, Sorry, sir. There was some network issue, so I could not get the questions.
My question is your hobby is writing, reading, and
Yes, sir.
creativity. You have written poems also. Can you
Yes, sir.
narrate your one poem which you have written?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Sir, my poem is about if Ravan comes to this world, then what he would think. So I have written a poem named Dashan. So it goes like, आज पुतलों में खड़ा मैं, मृत्यु को फिर थामने, मैं दशानन फिर खड़ा हूँ आज तेरे सामने. मर चुका था मर रहा हूँ आज भी मर जाऊंगा, पर मनुज ये बात सुन ले जो मैं कहता जाऊंगा. अब तो खुद में झांक थोड़ा कैसा अभिशापी है तू, जल भले ही मैं रहा हूँ, मुझसे बड़ा पापी है, मुझसे बड़ा पापी है.
Good. Which game do you play?
Uh, Sorry, sir. Sir, I have not taken any sports in a professional or official way. But sir, used to play. Generally, I used to play during my childhood cricket. And sir, during my physical preparation, I introduced myself to the physical activities like 100 meters and 800 meters race and all, sir. But I could not play any game professionally uh, properly.
Okay. Given the choice, you are selected in the academy for training. You have to play hockey, football, basketball, or volleyball. So, which game will you opt for?
Yes, sir. Uh, sir, I generally am comfortable with badminton, sir. Sir, I would like to learn badminton, sir.
No, no, my question was clear. These are the troops games, which I have told you. Four games are the games which build up team
Okay.
spirit and which allow you to interact with your troops. Badminton is generally played between the two men, so there is very less interaction. My question is, in order to build up rapport with the troops,
Yes, sir.
out of these games, which will you select one? Yes, my question is clear.
Sorry, sir. Here the weather is not good, sir. The network connectivity is coming, sir. Can you please repeat the question, sir? Sorry for inconvenience.
My question was that in order to build up rapport with the troops, we should play games which are known as troops
Yes,
games.
yes,
Hockey, football, volleyball, basketball.
yes, sir.
Out of these four games, which will you select and why?
Yes, sir. Uh, Sir, Sir, as I am new to all these sports, sir. So I can I can learn any of the sports, sir. I will like to learn all of the sports among these. But sir, if there is some preference, so I will go for volleyball, sir.
Okay, why will you select volleyball? What is the reason?
Sir, there is not any specific reason, sir, but during my college days, sir, my friends used to play the volleyball game, and it was under the college games also. So I have seen my friends play those games. So I will like to, sir. It's a general interest, sir, not any specific reason.
Okay. Why games are considered as important part of personality development in the armed forces?
Sir, because sir, when we consider about forces, so here the mentality of competitive environment is very important. So if there is any operation, so you have to resort for winning, and you should have the non-giving up spirit within yourself. And also, sir, you have to consider you should have the emotional intelligence within you, so that you can bear all the negative emotions and come out of those winning. So the sports gives us the learning, because in every game, in every sport, we generally so many emotions come to our mind, which make which try to break us in a physical manner. So if when we play sport regularly, sir, so our thought process becomes like that. We generally have a fighting spirit. So that's why, sir, it is very important to learn the sports.
Okay, good. You did never applied for the Combined Defense Services or NDA, but you are willing for Central Armed Police Force. What is the reason?
Yes, sir. Sir, when I was in my school time, so there was not so much awareness in my area regarding the defense services. Where then I went to my college, and I thought about appearing for civil service examination. And then in final year, my senior was selected in the Central Armed Police Forces. Then I saw the syllabus. So I was having the inclination towards the defense forces also, and the administrative forces also, but the syllabus overlapping was more in CAPF and civil services. So that's why I targeted both the examinations.
Okay, given the choice of selection between the
Yes.
civil services and CAPF, which will you prefer?
Sir, presently I am as I am an aspirant, so I am preparing for both the examination. But sir, if I get selected into the Central Armed Police Forces and my training starts, then I will totally dedicate myself for the service of Central Armed Police Forces. And till then my training does not start, sir, I will appear for the examination.
Supposing in when you had completed just 9 months of the training, or even after passing out from the
Yes.
training, after 1 year you get a call from the
Yes.
civil services, what will you do?
Sir, I'm appearing for services for the Indian Police Services, as the uniform is my to getting uniform is my dream, sir. So if there is Indian Police Services, so I will be getting the diversified and more greater opportunities. So that's why. So then I will join Indian Police Services. Otherwise, sir, I will dedicate my services towards this Central Armed Police Forces, or in the force which I will be working.
Okay. What is the role and task of CRPF?
Sir, Central Reserve Police Forces are have generally have the objective of for the internal security of the country, and they are generally resorted for the counter terrorism activities. They are resorted for these particular activities. And also, sir, in certain places where there are situations of law and order, so the postings are given to Central Reserve Police Forces people.
Okay. Basically, CRPF suffered three setbacks. One in 2010, it lost 76 men. Again in 2016-17, it lost 40 men. Again in 2019, in Pulwama attack, it lost 40 men. So,
Yes.
what do you think that why CRPF loses more men in comparison to other forces?
There are certain reasons behind that. The first reason is the nature of services that CRPF has been deployed to. As we have seen in all three cases, these three cases are of internal security matters or the matters related to left-wing extremism. So in those areas, generally the instances, the security breaches are high as compared to the armed forces security breaches. As we have seen, there are fewer clashes internationally we see rather than the internal security threats in the country. The second reason is the problems which are the issues which are under the CRPF. As we have seen that the deployment of CRPF is high, and the day wise work is the workload is high in CRPF. So there are training lacunas which are being seen due to these long-term postings and lack of training as we compare to the modern requirements. So these are the major two reasons why we are seeing major casualties in central reserve police forces than other security forces.
Okay. Supposing you are selected as as assistant commandant in CRPF, what kind of challenges will you face if you are deployed in the Naxalite prone area?
Sir, as the areas which are vulnerable to Naxalism, so these are the areas falling under the Indian territory itself, and the people who are involved in countering these left-wing extremism, they are also the Indian citizens. So the first problem is itself is the dealing with their own citizens who are causing the law and order situation. So this will be the major reason. While we don't want to harm those people and also curb the insurgency there. And secondly, sir, the confidence building measures is the second major thing, as the people generally see in an apprehensive way to the security forces. So building confidence among them is the second major thing. And thirdly, as under me, there will be so many troops coming from different backgrounds, and the area of deployment is very in generally in the harsh situations. So keeping the morale high of the people working with me would be the third major challenge for me.
Okay. You are in a remote area where CRPF company is deployed. How will you build up rapport with the
Yes,
villagers? How will you get intelligence from the
yes,
villagers? And how will you win their hearts and minds? What kind of programs will you launch so
yes,
that there is close association between the villagers and you get information as well as you can conduct operations safely?
yes. Sir, for getting information is a very can be done through two channels. The first is by establishing a proper channel of communication with the people there, with the locality, and secondly, giving them the help they need. So both two things will build confidence to the with the security forces, and they can provide the intelligence. So for building communication, we will generally can have certain campaigns to have the communication with the people. And secondly, for helping them, we can generally go for school campaigns. We can go for the medical campaigns also, so that we can provide some services to the people, so that the intelligence can be gathered easily from them when the confidence is provided by them to us.
Okay. India has got huge population, which seems to be uncontrollable. So, what measures as a country we can adopt so that we have a check on population?
firstly, as we see the recent trends of National Family Health Survey, so we see that the total fertility rate is approximately near the replacement level of 2.1. So we see that the population growth rate is generally stagnating as people are being more educated. But yes, sir, in certain states of the country, like where the poverty level is high, the population is still rising. As we take the example of Bihar or Jharkhand. So for those states, we need to promote education and especially the female literacy, so that female get more aware about the population or family planning activities. And also, sir, generally we have seen with the trends of China that if we provide the compulsion theory of population control, then it becomes detrimental for the population itself. So for that, we can resort to nudge theory, or we can nudge the people for family planning and can and tell them about the benefits rather than promoting any compulsive theory of family planning, sir. So these two measures can be taken.
How growth in population is contributing to rise in unemployment?
Sir, when the population growth in per family is high, then there are few investment in education and health activities for per capita or per children. So that's why what is happening is that if all the member of the family or the children of the family are not getting adequate education, so they are having less skills in their youthful ages, and also, sir, they are having less care for their health and nutrition. So it is also hampering their cognitive capability to learn new things. So this is resulting to the skill deficiency in them, and ultimately resulting into the unemployment of them. And sir, and when we see about the other picture, so if the population is high, the fiscal burden on the government is also high. Like they have to provide the social welfare policies for more amount of people. So this is also causing the problem for the inadequate social welfare for all the population. So these are the two reasons why the unemployment is rising when we see the rising trend in the population.
Okay. You must be watching the data. I was observing one of the report in Madhya Pradesh for the post of 10 to 20 patwaris, 5,000 candidates applied, and most of them were MSc also, and they were PhDs
Yes, sir.
also. Similarly, it happens for other posts also. So,
Yes, sir.
on the one hand, we are asking that we should start our own entrepreneurship. Government is unable to give us the
Yes, sir.
jobs. So, what is the now suggestion for the youth so that they don't get disgruntled? Because
Yes,
it is not everybody's baby to
yes,
become an entrepreneur, and everybody will not get the job. So, what will happen? How can we solve this situation?
yes, yes, sir. Sir, there are certain short-term measures and the long-term measures which we can apply. For the long-term measure, the new education policies implementation would be the key, which is resorting into the academia industrial partnership, and also focusing upon the vocational training, and also the training the capabilities for industrial revolution 4.0. But sir, when we talk about the short-term measures for the existing unemployed people, so we can say that there are certain skill development programs in the country, like Deen Dayal Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and also other training programs which provide the opportunities for the people to learn certain skills for their livelihood. And also, sir, we can have certain mechanisms to regularize the government recruitment, as we have seen that in certain states there are corruptions also in state employment program. So we can keep a check on them so that the employment activities can be regularized. And so thirdly, for the development of private sector, the government can resort to more ease of doing business. so that if the investment opportunities can be liberalized. So if the private sector involvement will be higher in the country, so there will be more private jobs in the country also, sir. So these all things can tackle the unemployment situation in the country.
Okay. As you belong to Uttarakhand, this Joshi-Math, fragile Himalaya,
Yes, sir.
it is a kind of natural disaster.
Yes.
So how can we prevent such
Yes, sir.
disasters?
Yes. Sir, yes, sir. Himalayan ecosystem is still in its evolving stage, and it is a vulnerable topography. So we have to be some cautious regarding new infrastructure development, as we have seen after the land subsidence instances that the anthropogenic activities like new infrastructure development and dynamite blastings for the infrastructure development have also caused for the fragile ecosystem to deteriorate. So proper environmental impact assessment before passing out any project is the key. And also, sir, the sustainable development is the key for the fragile ecosystem of the Himalayas. Any infrastructure activities or any new development should be contained within the limit of ecosystem, bearing capability of the ecosystem. And second, sir, indigenous knowledge is to be used for the development of the area. Because, sir, we have seen in the Joshimath case also that the major project development and all the activities were totally resorting for the Western techniques, like for the modern techniques, and was not resorting to the indigenous techniques which are more suitable for the Himalayan ecosystem. So these are the major things we have to take care if we want to make our Himalayan ecosystem risk-free from any natural hazards like this.
Okay. In relation to it, comment upon the Char Dhams and the national highways which are being built for the sustenance of these Char Dhams
Yes.
and organization of religious tours.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Are you getting me?
Sorry, sir. Pardon, sir. I could not hear
My
the question.
question was कि Char Dham Yatra is being propagated by Uttarakhand, government of Uttarakhand. It also relates with the
Yes, sir.
fragile
Yes, sir.
Himalayan. What comments you want to offer on the subject?
Uh, sir, Uttarakhand government is propagating tourism because Uttarakhand is approximately 80% it lies on the Himalayan ecosystem. So here the infrastructure development capabilities or the scope is less. So that's why for better revenue, government is relying on the tourism opportunities there. So that's why the Char Dham project has been developed, or the infrastructure scenario of the Char Dham connectivity is being streamlined by the government. But sir, there are certain apprehensions regarding the ecological interference of these infrastructure development, as we have seen in the Joshimath cases also, that one of the linkages of these Char Dham project goes through Joshimath also, and in that particular infrastructure development activities only, the use of dynamites was seen. So which is being considered as one of the reasons why the land subsidence is being seen. So, sir, here we should see the tourism promotion is good, sir. It is important for for states' religious significance, and also for religious faith for people of the country. But sir, it is also important to consider the uh, ecological sustenance of the Himalayan ecosystem. So we should develop our religious places, but not for the cost of the ecological sustainability.
Okay. Pakistan is passing through economic crisis. So, what kind of economic crisis Pakistan is facing these days?
Yes. So the crisis of Pakistan is twofold. The first is the inadequate capacity of domestic economy, and the second is over reliance upon the foreign capital or foreign funding. So all these two factors are the major cause for the Pakistan's economic turbulence right now.
Okay. Why they are passing through such a crisis? What are the reasons of it?
Yes. So firstly, there are the first thing is that the Pakistan, due to its limited scope of economic liberalism or economic productivity, they have been resorting for the Chinese that strongly. So that's why due to that the sovereignty has been compromised as the major decisions of the Pakistan's policies are on the line of serving China's foreign policies only. And secondly, sir, due to political turbulence in the country, the frequent political turbulence in the country and frequent military government in the country, what has happened is that the economic development has not been adequate in the country. So these two factors are the major reasons why the country is going through a major economic crisis.
What about the floods it suffered last year? And what kind of destruction was there in terms of manpower as well as buildings?
Uh, Sorry, sir, I am not aware fully about the total issue, sir.
Okay.
I
Why
will look upon it, sir.
why International Monetary Fund is asking for abidance of 2019 pact with the Pakistan, which they say you have not abided and we will not be able to release monetary aid.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware about it, sir. I will look upon it.
Okay. Do you think that situation in Kashmir can be improved if we hold the elections in time?
Uh, Yes, sir. I definitely feel that if democratic processes are reintroduced in the Jammu Kashmir, then definitely the confidence will be more of the Kashmiri people on the Indian government and the Indian state. So it will be definitely a very good process, and government is trying to reintroduce those democratic elections in the state as soon as possible, as it has introduced the delimitation commission also. But sir, it is also has to be said that if there are certain security breaches or security vulnerabilities which are still present in the Kashmir, then definitely we have to curb those first, and then sir, we should reintroduce the democratic elections as soon as possible.
Okay. What kind of delay do you see that we are not able to hold the election so far?
The major reasons is the politically fragile situation in the Jammu Kashmir, as we have seen that there are so many. Hello.
Yes, yes, carry on. Carry on.
Yes, sir. The reasons by the Kashmir we could not introduce the elections in the Jammu Kashmir. The first reason is that the change which has been made to the Jammu Kashmir was a big one. So it needs some time to control the all the after effects of of the change of abrogation of article abrogation of the constitution article. And also, sir, there are still the political instability which is seen in the Kashmir region. And thirdly, sir, the apprehensions or risks for internal security breaches which are still there. So government is resorting right now to maintain a peaceful situation in the state and let the political situation stabilize in the state. So then we will be able to conduct the elections in the Jammu Kashmir region.
Okay. Earlier, the political parties, especially the party of this Farooq Abdullah, National Conference, and Mehbooba Mufti, PDP, they were demanding that, first of all, government should make the promise of state, making a promise of state, bifurcation of Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh should be included in one state. That was their demand. So probably government
Yes,
was not agreeing to that kind of demand also. Then there was controversy about
yes, sir.
delimitation exercise. They went to the Supreme Court
Yes,
also. The Supreme Court said that that is the legislative which will decide on this issue. Parliament is fully competent to decide upon the delimitation.
yes,
So we have nothing to offer our comments. So all these kinds of dusts have now
yes,
settled. Now the all political parties, especially 8 to 9 political parties, have approached Election Commission of India for conduct of election. And probably election should be conducted soon.
yes,
Say elected government comes. So how does it make difference, especially in relation to militancy? If
yes,
a
sir.
government is there
Uh,
in lieu of governor's role, so how does
yes, sir.
that government can be held accountable as far as the militant is
Yes, sir.
concerned?
Yes. Sir, right now, as the state is a union territory without a legislature, so the onus is upon the central government to govern the whole state. Sir, but when the elected government will be there, so there will be the representative of the people of the state, which can communicate directly as a representative of the state to the center. So there will be a proper mechanism, proper channel for all the grievances of the people to the federal government. So if the proper communication is established, so the insurgency can also be curbed and the security breaches can also be curbed if the proper communication channel and confidence can be established in the state. So this can be the major uh, uh, consequence or impact of a proper elected government in the state.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk about it now.
Yes, thanks.